This episode of Background Noise is brought to you by Trident Clothing Shop. Now listen, y'all, this is a brand new clothing company that's taken the public by storm, with not only a badass line of clothes and accessories, but a strong message behind it too. Trident Clothing Shop's goal is for you to go out and challenge yourself, be the best version of yourself you can be, and achieve all your goals. And shit, even look great doing it too. But don't take my word for it. Go ahead and click on the link that's underneath the video in the comment section. Check out the website. You be the judge.
I think I'm just gassed. I'm burping a lot.
Perfect timing.
Oh, did we start?
Nah.
Oh. I was like...
What's up, everyone? This is the 10th episode of Background Noise, which is actually going to be the next segment of B.B.B.B Beatdown Breakdown, which is the MMA segment of my podcast, Background Noise. I got D-Baby here with me. We're going to break down the fights that happened last week. UFC 221, Yoel Romero versus Luke motherfucking Rockhold. What's up, my dude?
That was awesome. Hello.
Timing for the win.
Yeah.
What's good, my dude?
Nothing much, dude. I'm excited. It's oh, there you go. Gross. There's
Why do you hate
a lot of good fights coming up, and that just passed. Let's just talk about Luke Rockhold and
We'll start off with the big one, and let's kind of set the scene a little bit. They're fighting at 185, and right now it's an interim title fight, and the winner is gonna face Robert Whittaker.
Yeah, Robert Whittaker.
But he's out with a staph infection in his fucking stomach. Could you fucking believe that, dude?
It was more than just that too. Apparently he had like chicken pox or some shit too. Like, because I watched an interview with him. I don't really remember. I think it was on the MMA Hour or whatever, and he was like Skyping, and he was saying that he had like a couple different things at the same time on top of that. Like, it was
Jesus
bad.
Christ! It's kicking ass for so long is making him age quicker or something.
Yeah, it was bad. He was like the most sick he's ever been. He said. But,
I mean, dude. Either whether he just caught something nasty or sucked an AIDS dick. Dude, he's a bad motherfucker. But anyway, so he's out, and so now they're gonna have the interim title fight, which is Yoel Romero.
It's hard to say, right?
Yeah.
For the first time too. Like really, like I've never had trouble saying his name until now.
Right.
But whatever.
It's only because we mic'd up.
Yeah.
But and Luke Rockhold, and this is, man, I was really looking forward to this fight as soon as I found out it was happening, and I had Rockhold winning in like maybe the mid to late fourth round by TKO by strikes. I just felt like he's a bigger guy. I felt like even though Yoel's yoked to the gills, and dude, I mean, who knows? You know, you don't see very many 40-year-old men looking like that. It's pretty fucking insane. But anyways, I thought that he was going to be able to kind of out wrestle him if it came to that. You know, kind of tire him out, which he has been known to show before. You know, Yoel.
Luke Rockhold?
No, Yoel.
Yoel, yeah.
Yeah, Yoel. Typically in the late third. You know, which is like in those championship rounds. You know, he kind of tends to struggle. So I thought he was just going to outlast him and then tire him out and TKO him by strikes, but that's definitely not what happened. Yoel fucking teed off on his face.
2 punches, man.
Dude, it was fucking insane. I can't remember. Was it a left hook that sent him down?
It was like an overhand.
Overhand left.
And then he fucking got him sat down.
And then he was so out of it.
Open.
Yeah, he was completely out of it. Like, he didn't know where the fuck he was. Like, he might as well have been.
And then came with a left uppercut straight
to the chin. Like, sent his jawbone to the back of his head.
Sent him to France and back.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude, yes. And there's a couple of reasons that there's this one video that was called three reasons why Yoel beat Rockhold, right? By Luke Thomas. And
good podcast.
He was just saying you know how in the octagon there's the black lines, like the center octagon?
Yeah.
So, you know, in theory, if you're behind the black line, you're closer to the cage, right?
Yes.
You're being backed up. So basically, I don't know if it was his strategy or not, or if that's just what ended up happening, but Yoel, he did not. Some people say it was a boring fight, more or less, because Yoel did not waste any extra energy trying to do takedowns, trying to do anything other than just block his punches and just, wait to explode for a quick
That's
second.
exactly what you need to do. He's smart, man, because he knew he has to conserve his energy. I really do think he's that intelligent to realize his weaknesses. But yeah, he did it correct. Anyways, cool.
Yeah, and because in the first round he did the same movement, kind of like exchange that knocked him out. Luke kind of got away from, because what Luke did was anytime that he would pressure him against the cage, he would kind of show him his knee, kind of threaten his knee. So like, if you come and try to take me down against the cage, I can knee you. You know, he's ready for it. And so what he did was just, I think he threw like a quick counter and circle out. He threw a counter in between Yoel's punches. So he threw one punch, dodged it, countered, circled out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus in the second round, he obviously didn't do that. And then, so Yoel basically just saved his energy, and then whenever he backed him up against the cage, he would explode. And so the second time that happened, Luke he was just too slow. He got caught. Yeah, he got hit. And then, really after the first time he got hit, I mean, it was kind of done. So obviously it wasn't a counter, but
word on the street, Bisping was quoted that Yoel tends to back up against the cage whenever put under pressure.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what Yoel took advantage of. And the big question is Rockhold figured out now? Where does he go from here? He is making a fuck ton of money modeling, and he has been, granted the questions were asked about that during the interview, but he did talk highly of it, and he could make more money doing that potentially. So who knows?
I just don't think he had a solid game plan going into this fight. I mean,
I thought
he needed to make Yoel work harder. He needed to go do some takedown attempts, or just to keep him, moving around, because Yoel had him just in his game. They were just going slow.
I think he respected the power punch too much. Yeah, we have to rewatch it, but he might have gotten clipped early. He was like, okay, let's.
I mean, he did well earlier. He came out and he was landing some strikes. I mean, not a lot, but
yeah, he should. I think he should try to get in the clinch.
One other thing
I didn't
Yoel
see that
did,
much happen.
That's also true. But one other thing Yoel did, in the first round, he also went for these thigh punches. He would go down and hit. I mean, some people think that's stupid, not very effective, but it's just a setup. So he was. So right before he threw that overhand left to knock him out, or like get him down the first time.
From hesitating.
Yeah, he looks down for a second. He just kind of looks down for a second and kind of threatens.
And gets his hands down.
Yeah, as if he's gonna go for that thigh punch again, and then he came with the overhand, and I mean he set it up. So I mean that was a really good setup.
There's a lot of factors that people don't realize that go into fights, and just a vision. It's almost like NBA and just like like ball. What is it called? Ball IQ. Or some shit like that, like game IQ or whatever the fuck. There's definitely the same element in fighting too. It's a chess match. It truly is. Whether you're a brawler or not, you still have to set up your punches, and it's not like you're going against someone that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. So that's what's significant about it. But yeah, good fight. But now here's the problem. Yoel missed weight.
Yeah,
all that, and Yoel ended up being 2 pounds over, and that fucking sucks, because not only does he have to give 30% of his purse to Luke Rockhold. Like, he doesn't get the interim title. But everyone's acting like he did. I mean, he did beat him. And that is true.
He's going to get the title fight.
But he's going to get the title fight. So what does that mean? Does that mean everyone can just, like, come in 2 pounds over, pay a fine? You're basically paying your way, to not just,
I think it was a small exception because he took this fight on short notice.
That's a good point.
He didn't have a full camp to lose all the weight.
That is a good point. But, I mean... I don't know. I don't know the rules with all that shit.
And it was the main event. I think it was too late. And, like, they're just like, okay. I mean, like,
fuck it.
Right? It was, like, the day of.
Because, I mean, and a counterpoint to what I was just saying, I mean, the number 5 seed, what's his name? God dang it. Who's number 5 in there? I can't remember. I'm going to have to look it up here in a second. But anyways, I'm just going to call him number 5. Number 5 seed is saying, well, so I am the only person not getting caught on steroids, making weight, and I don't get a title shot. What's up with this? And but the problem with that is I looked at his record, and it was also made attention by another Instagram post that he's lost to 3 out of the 4 that are. I think he's actually lost to everyone except for Whitaker. So there's not really a lot of competition besides he's either already fought Whitaker and lost, or anyone besides Yoel. So the fight makes sense. It's just where's the line drawn where fighters and an athlete should be held accountable for their mistakes? I get it. He did take a hefty fine, but it's just it shows that based off of what types of pay-per-views they can sell, they're willing to kind of bend the rules and have fighters that not necessarily have the highest rankings fight the champs just because of pay-per-view sales, and just kind of where the sport's going right now.
Yeah. Oh, is it Weidman?
Yeah, Chris Weidman?
Weidman. Yeah, Chris Weidman. I don't know Weidman.
Yeah, he's lost to like 4 out of the 5 that are up at the top or something like that. My numbers probably aren't right, but
I mean, he got that vicious knee from Yoel that knocked him out.
I know.
He beat Luke Rockhold for the title. No,
it wasn't the title. I don't think he's held the belt.
Yeah, he has. Huh. Yeah, he's held the belt for sure. I'm pretty sure he beat Luke Rockhold.
We have to do some research on that, but anyhow, and then the co-main event. Well, I got that pick wrong. The main event, but the co-main event, Mark Hunt versus Curtis Blades. It just I should have put money on it, man. It happened exactly the way I envisioned it, which doesn't happen too often. But the significance about this fight, it's in Australia, and Mark Hunt is an Australian.
Yeah.
And those fans go fucking deep into the murky waters. They fucking they love their athletes. And Mark Hunt is just a knockout artist, veteran, probably the hardest head in MMA. Jesus, man. Like, this guy he's a fucking bowling ball. And,
correction, sorry, real quick. He lost to Luke Rockhold.
Oh.
Yeah. I just looked it up.
So, yeah, he sucks, dude. No, I'm just joking.
Who did he beat? Silva.
Yeah, but Silva's on the way out.
Twice? He beat him twice.
Dang.
I'm trying to figure out. He beat Vitor Belfort, beat Lyoto Machida.
All older athletes.
Beat Kelvin Gastelum recently. Beat Damian Maia. He has some good wins.
He's fit to be.
He just lost to Luke Rockhold, Yoel Romero, and Gegard Mousasi. And that Gegard Mousasi shit was like the controversy knee. Like, he didn't really lose.
Yeah, but still, it's the 1, 2. I mean, the 1, 2, and 3 contenders. Everyone in front of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, so he's going to be able to jump over all of them just because Yoel didn't make weight? That doesn't really make sense either. But I feel like Yoel shouldn't really get a title shot right away. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really know how that works out, though. Anyways, okay. Mark Hunt and Curtis, thank you, by the way, for the update. Yeah. Anyways, I had Blades beating Mark Hunt by decision. I just felt like he was gonna use his length, and I know Mark Hunt's an older athlete, and at first when I heard this fight, I was just like, man, why is Mark Hunt still fighting? Because he has a hard head, but when you get hit in the head that much time, you start seeing some serious issues with your health, Mm-hmm. And I'm a real big fan, and I really enjoy watching him fight. But Jesus, man, I just don't want to see him fucking go out miserable with like some serious head trauma and stuff like that. So I wasn't really happy to see him fighting at first, but he looked more with it than what I had thought. Anyways, I had Blades beating Hunt by decision because I just felt like he was going to be able to out wrestle him and weather the storm early, evade the knockout punches or take them, and keep him to the ground and just, ground and pound and do work on the ground all night and just ride it out until, you get the decision. And that's exactly what happened. But Hunt fucking, he
almost had it.
He lasered. He just blasted him in the chin and fucking, he dropped him. Mm-hmm. And we thought for a split second, we were, our buttholes puckered. We were just like, oh, this is it.
At the post-fight, the press conference or whatever, Curtis Blades said that he legit lost his sight for 2 seconds. Like, he blacked out for 2 seconds.
Damn.
And then he came to it and then takedown.
And that was a big question.
When he takedown.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So, and that was
took him down.
And you remember, I couldn't control myself. I stood up and I yelled. Yeah. I was so excited when I saw him get that takedown because I really wanted to see. He's 26 years old. I really want to see the younger guys really start to make those big leaps and bounds and fucking make their way up to the top and have a new set of elite fighters. And I was wondering how he could overcome adversity.
Yeah.
And he was out, like you just said. He was out for at least 2 seconds, and we were just like, holy shit. And Hunt, when he had him on his knee, Mark Hunt went for just like a downward, like
straight,
like an execution, pretty much, and he barely missed, and that would have done it. If he would have connected on that, I highly doubt that Blades would have been awake. He would have been waking up like in his locker room, dude.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like literally that fight could have been dictated by just 2 inches or so. And anyways, he recovered, stands up, takes him to the ground, and implements his game plan for the rest of the fight. And some people I could definitely see where they would think it's a boring fight, but I thought it was beautiful, dude. Mm-hmm. Perfect execution. Great job. I'm really excited for Blades. I'm really looking forward to seeing where he goes with his career for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of good Australians on that card.
Oh, no kidding. And the guy beforehand. I'm going to have the hardest time. I'm going to have the hardest time. He's heavyweight, dude.
Oh, yeah, he is a heavyweight.
Yeah, the big guy. And I remember we don't know shit about him. And we saw him, and
he beat that French dude. He knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, but you were saying, like, he looks pretty unathletic or something like that.
Well, he got into the cage, he ran up the stairs, and I was like...
No, he has he's carrying a little extra pancakes for after the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't look like, he's in a lot of shape, but if you watch this guy's highlight reel, if you watch the fight, he is a quick, explosive motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Very athletic indeed.
Yeah,
and he just sinking in elbows like they're fucking... He's like feeding, a baby candy, just fucking open up, bah!
Yeah.
There goes your face. and
that
Jesus,
one guy hung in there, though. Seriously.
He hung in there as much as he could have, but he was clearly outmatched. And it's like, wasn't he French?
Yeah.
He's a Frenchman. And he's just, I remember in the pre-fight, commercial, whatever the fuck he's saying how like it's illegal in France, and he wants, it's his dream and all that shit, and he just got bro, dude, you got fed to a piranha, mate.
Yeah. Like, it's illegal in France for a reason.
Yes, right, because fuckers like you get executed.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, dude, it's like
you can notice so quickly.
Just take a fat plump chicken, rip off its wings and feet, and just throw it into a pool of crocs. That's pretty much what just happened. He tried, man.
Yeah,
but he was
tough dude though.
The guy's name is Tai Tuivasa. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly.
Can I see it?
You try to give these a go. We got to pay credit where credit's due.
Yeah, that sounds right. Tai Tuivasa. And
then the Frenchman, yeah.
Cyril Asker. Yeah, Cyril. Whatever. Yeah. The guy undefeated.
They cannot pronounce my name correctly.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, I mean, probably not.
Stupid Americans.
That one Australian dude's undefeated. Nice.
Yeah, he's a bad fucker.
9-3, so I mean, he has a pretty good record too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, I couldn't make a pick because I didn't know shit about either one of them. I'm still kind of trying to get the newer names and stuff, down, and I just haven't been keeping up. Shame on me. Thank you. Pass me my phone. So yeah, he got fucking posterized. So that was a good card though. I was really excited. I was really impressed. We were skeptical about the card at first. I kind of thought that maybe it was kind of like a light card. It was should have been better off as a UFC Fight Pass or a Fox thing. It's Paramount Network. But I don't know. I was really happy with it. And there was some sick ass submissions and stuff like that in the prelims too.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah, the other Australian guy got that sick ass Kimura.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot his name, but he had that like Kimura sweep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my
absolutely.
God.
Let me see here. Is it Tyson Pedro?
Another Tyson.
And versus Saparbek. Oh my God, dude! I can't even.
Yeah, these names are really.
This is brutal, dude. I'm sounding like an illiterate fuck right now, but these names are tough. I'm gonna spell it Saparbek. Last name Safarov. Like, dude, I can't even. I literally can't even. Sorry, guys. We will do better next time. Anyhow, so there's more and more interim fights going down. I think, including this one, we have like 4 interim belts fights coming up, or at least in the works right now. And I just kind of feel like the value of the weight classes is kind of being diminished, which opens up a lot of windows of opportunity for some cool, badass, like, big time fights with some big names. But especially when you have one guy holding 2 belts and just hanging on, just flipping sports and just not stripping the belt of him. What does that do to the legitimacy of these fights you're trying to promote?
Flipping sports is really like Conor McGregor. But
I know, but still, that's 2 right there. 2 weight divisions that you have to have interim fights. And then you have the 185 interim belt. That's an injury. That's a little bit more understandable.
Yeah.
But still, and then what's the other one?
It's gonna be fucking Johnson and TJ.
Yeah, that's another interim.
Almost not interim. No. I mean, they both have belts.
They're gonna hold 2 belts, but then that's gonna lead for another interim belt down the road. So where does the line get drawn, if it even does? And it's just, here's the thing: if you have, especially if you have multiple fighters like TJ or Mighty Mouse and McGregor holding 2 belts, that's 4 weight divisions right there that champions don't fight more than maybe 1-2 times a year now. You know what I'm saying? And if they're trying to hold 2 belts, when the fuck are we actually going to see some actual title fights in one of the 2 divisions? Soon to be possibly 2. And it's just kind of...
I think champions fight more than 1-2 times a year. The only one I don't see that happening is Conor McGregor. Every other champion that I could think of
yes, 1-2 a year. But do you see some champs fighting 3 times in a year?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that it's at like 2, 3, maybe sometimes, dude, like Michael Bisping, like,
yeah, but that's Bisping. Though. He's almost like Donald Cerrone.
Who else are you talking about though? Because I think Mighty Mouse has fought, I think, at least 2 or 3 times this past year, and then it just depends how long they can hold it too. So like,
but how much time is that going to take? Because realistically, you could see champs, just saying, okay, my first fight, I'm going to defend this title. My second fight, I'm going to defend this title. That'd be ideal. But, especially once the fighters get a little bit up there in age, those cuts aren't going to be able to happen more and more. They're going to finally have to just either vacate the belt or just lose. And it's just, that's a lot of extra time. But it just kind of depends on, how you look at the sport in general, because some people like the legitimacy of weight to classes, and it was never like an unspoken rule because it happened in the past, but it's kind of like that unspoken rule. You kind of stick to your weight class, an exception. Is it though? At least maybe 10 years ago.
No, BJ Penn didn't.
I know BJ Penn did, but I said there was a few exceptions,
But then I don't think it's an unspoken rule. I think they could. I just think they just didn't.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Maybe not. Okay, unspoken rule is probably not the best way, but you're right. They just didn't. Mm-hmm. And
it's only a matter of time, I think. Just as much as the sport has evolved, I'm not mad at it. I get what you're saying. He does get a lot of things caught up and stuff like that, but I want to see TJ fight DJ. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, exactly. And I don't have a true stance in this. I'm just trying to bring up points just because that's what's in the grapevine.
No, I know what you mean. I don't know. It's just, it's hard to say. I don't know. And maybe they should just have a super...
I don't think champs are fighting.
Maybe they should just have a...
What names besides Bisping are fighting 3 times in a year?
Tyron Woodley fought Thompson twice and then Damian Maia last year, so it's at least 3 times a year. And then
how soon after was the rematch? Because, dude, they didn't take... None of them took that much damage.
Yeah, they did.
Like a fuck ton of damage.
Thompson was almost out in the first fight and the second fight. He was in trouble. Yeah.
Why do I remember it being such a boring fight?
Because it was just... I
don't remember.
Tyron had very few explosive moments. He got caught, and he wrote it out.
Well, how soon was the rematch?
I don't know, but I don't... They might have had a full... I think they took some time. Wonderboy was hurt.
Yeah.
Tyron was hurt. He got caught a couple times too. It was a good fight. It was just boring because nothing really happened. Like Tyron got caught for a second or two during the whole fight, and then fucking Thompson got dropped and then almost got out, but then he got out of it. I mean, like, it was a boring fight, but you know, and the same thing happened the second time too. And then he fought Damian Maia as well, like after that, and beat him. But that was also a boring fight. As Damian Maia, he's a pure like submission artist. You know, like it's hard to, you know, I see like Tyron's point when he's had terrible matchups for him so far, you know. But I mean, he wins, so
yeah,
credit to due to him.
It's kind of like how Mayweather wins his boxing matches. He outpoints people. He plays to his strengths. And,
yeah. And Tyron's shoulder was fucked up during all of that.
Yeah, I remember that. He said he's having surgery and stuff.
Yeah. And then like Dominic Cruz was injured, so I mean but then he fought and lost it, and then Cody lost it. So it's just like, you know, you can't really.
I guess when someone's not holding on to the belt, you know.
Yeah, I mean there is title
especially
fights.
if there are
DC. I think he fought like 3 times. I think he's done. I don't think
in 2017.
Yeah, I don't think it takes that long in between fights. You know.
Well, either way, I mean, but
Stipe definitely fought at least 3 or 4 times.
But either way, it's hard to maintain 2 belts. Whether you fight 2 or 3 times a year.
No doubt, but I think the only guy that has really done it is Conor. And he's also in a different sport. So I think we haven't seen a pure MMA fighter hold 2 belts and see what they can do.
Well, I mean, the root to this argument, though, is that it's mainly with McGregor. Yeah. It is mainly with McGregor because he's holding up 2 weight divisions. And there was talk of the belt being taken from him. And for some reason, Dana White just seems to have bitched out and just said, okay, well, this is going to be an interim fight now. And it's just
he says this is the real title fight, but he has never came out and said,
we're going to strip Conor of the belt.
This is the real belt, but he's not saying Conor stripped, so I think he's just...
It just seems like Conor likes his toys and he doesn't like sharing, you know, because apparently...
It's Conor, yeah, I mean, I can totally see that.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
But, I get it. I'm not even mad at it either. I don't even care. Like, I mean, it does suck. I mean, but it's funny,
just... this argument is just towards people who believe in the legitimacy of sports and actual title fights and championships and stuff like that. But then there's the other spectrum where you just really fucking want to see just some badass fights. Just see lots of... If you just want the purity of just combat in general, you just don't... You don't really... You can see the legitimacy of holding a belt and what it does to a fighter's reputation and just the build-up for the fights. But realistically, if you just see some people fucking throwing punches and kicks at each other, you're going to have a good time, you know?
For the most part.
Yeah.
Because Wonderboy, Thompson, fucking Tyron Woodley. Pretty boring fights. But the thing is, they're boring now, but when they were happening, I didn't think they were boring. Fans did. You know what I'm saying? They were good fights, but it was just slow pace.
I just think people that are... UFC's getting bigger and bigger.
If I were to watch it again, I'd be like, yeah, it's kind of boring because I know the outcome and like I know not much happens.
But it's nothing for you to...
They were both...
Or it's nothing like us to not rewatch fights.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like I'd watch that fight 3 times, you know, but they're just so evenly matched. So it's hard to... But I get it. Like, it just wasn't very entertaining after the first time I watched it, you know, so... yeah, dude. So...
It's going to be interesting to see what happens this next upcoming year.
I think it'd be kind of neat. In order to make more... I think in order to kind of fix what they fucked up before with the UFC, as far as like the super fights and then like staying legitimate to the rankings, maybe they should just have a strict super fight like portion of the company to where there's no title fights. It goes on your record.
There's like it goes on your record, but it's just like a super fight arena. Like
in a way, it's where say if TJ lost to DJ, he wouldn't lose his 135 belt, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or like I don't know if that's gonna happen.
But what happens?
Let's say it the other way around. Say like if TJ loses. Well, see, it's just tough because then technically TJ did beat the 125-pound champion at 125. So.
Yeah, I see your point there to kind of keep it, but at the same token too, they're not defending their titles by doing that. So we're just gonna have more and more interim fights.
Yeah,
and it goes back to the argument for the folks that want to see.
It'd probably be too much controversy. Take it back. Take that off the table because I think about it now. I'm like, well, what if they just did a super fight for Nate Diaz and Tyron Woodley and then Nate won? So it's like,
oh my god, because he's not even the top 15 of that division.
Yeah, but like if he just beat him fucking somehow.
People that have beaten the shit out of him. I love watching Diaz. Like he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. He's really fucking entertaining on the mic too. But fucking, people that have beaten him are higher up on the rankings next to fight Tyron Woodley, and then you're just gonna have Diaz jump all the way up to the top and fight
Just because
Tyron.
he's a good shit talker.
I mean, because pay per view.
He's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but he also fights at 155.
Yeah, but that's the argument between the super fights, and even that wouldn't even really be. I guess it would be a good fight. What makes a super fight? I mean, of course, you have the legitimacy of title belts like TJ, DJ, and DC Stipe, but
other than that, it's just kind of shit talking.
Yeah, it's like the best in the octagon, and also the best on the mic earn you title belts.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that there's some exceptions for that. I mean, Robert Whitaker's pretty big, and he's not a huge shit talker. DC. Well, I mean, he went over because he's just like a great fighter. But,
him and the John Jones.
People fucking hate Luke Rockhold for some reason. They just think he's a fucking. I mean, he's kind of like
an asshole.
He kind of is, but like, I mean, dude, he tweeted after he he got beaten by Yoel Romero.
Oh yeah,
that same night he was like, "Congrats."
He's made out of stone
or made out of steel or some shit
like that.
And I was like, dude, I don't even know if I was in his position, I don't even know if I would do that. Like, I don't know if I would have the balls to do that. The same night you got knocked the fuck out.
The same night.
Maybe that's why he did it, because he was still fucking coming too.
I mean, but I remember when I got choked out of my fight, and I remember standing up, and I remember the next thing I remember is being outside the cage, like heading back to the doors to leave, and I don't remember the ride home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, regardless whether you're knocked unconscious.
Do you remember eating after your fight with everyone?
No. Where do we even eat?
At gyms.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I remember that now. But it's just being unconscious and, losing oxygen and blood to your brain pretty much. It just, it fucks with you for a bit and internally. And that shit, it's like a little black mark on your record. Too many of those, you're going to fucking start seeing some really, really detrimental things to your health and mental state. And I've seen plenty of it at my job.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. That's another reason I'm just so afraid of these like knockout artists just continuing to fight like Mark Hunt and some of the heavyweights especially.
Yeah, I mean, they took you to do what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but
there's so much money. I'm sure they don't even care.
Would you rather? Let's say you had a machine that could morph you into any size and weight that you wanted, but you had to stay there. Let's just say like you go in and you can just input your height and weight, what you want to be in your build and shit. What weight class would you want to fight in, and who would you want to be your first fight?
Me personally?
Yes, you. Let's just say you want to be 6'4", 265, or say you want to be like 5'4", 125.
I would probably just fight at
because I mean you have to fight who's in that division, and let's just say that you're able to compete in the UFC.
I'd probably fight at 135.
135.
I think I would just naturally cut down to my natural weight. Because I think if I were to actually go strict diet and
what do you
everything
right now?
Actually no, probably 145.
Right now.
No, I don't want to fight at 145.
No.
There's killers at 145. I want to fight at one. I mean, there's killers. I'd probably fight at 145. I weigh
stay at your weight.
Yeah, I weigh myself. I don't know how accurate the scale is.
Okay, here's the thing. If you stay at your natural weight, you have to fight in the women's division at 145.
145?
Yeah. You take on Cyborg.
Oh, no.
You take on Cyborg.
I'd rather take on fucking the man in 145. I'm not even lying to you. I'd rather take on the dude.
Because there's your dignity.
She's so big for a woman.
I know, dude. I know.
Huge.
Looks like a fucking ox.
She looks like she should be my dad. Seriously.
Fucking, she changes her diaper after she knocks you out.
Honestly. Fucking hey.
Yummy.
I don't want to fight Holly Holm either.
Jesus, dude.
See, that's the thing. I don't know. I'd probably cut down to 135. I can lose that much weight. I just wouldn't be as muscly as I am now. I'm not even that much more so I have a lot of fat, but whatever.
Nah, you good. But
I think 135 because I think just with the style, I think because a lot of it's also heavy hitters. Don't get me wrong, but it's 135.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nothing like fucking Francis and so I think smaller black marks on your record. You know what I'm saying? In a way, like
yeah,
you're not getting hit as hard. Just in general, it's a smaller weight class, and a lot of it's like a lot of guys are getting submitted. I don't know if I'd rather get submitted or knocked out, but
If you know to just know when you're caught and just tap.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, like you
I don't want to get knocked
protect
out
your body a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to get knocked the fuck out.
But I mean, still, you don't have to get knocked unconscious for there to be some damage to your brain. You could just, I mean, look at a lot of football players.
True.
You know, stuff like that. They have a helmet, yes.
If you're fighting in the UFC, you're gonna get brain damage unless you're Demetrius Johnson.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
It's true. That's very true. But yeah, or you just don't fight Ngannou. I mean, still.
You're still gonna have brain damage. Getting kicked in the head from Donald Cerrone. No
Fuck
thanks.
yeah! Oh my god, I'm so
fucking
excited.
Rick
for
Story.
Sunday.
Yes, dude. I'm so
we
excited.
are going to the UFC Fight Night in Austin, featuring Donald Cerrone. You just fucking flipped a switch in my brain. Yeah, we're gonna be going to that. It's gonna be real cool. We're gonna take some video. We're gonna do some updates on the fights. We're gonna break them down. All that good shit. So that'll be the next B.B.B.B beatdown breakdown. It's gonna be fucking cool. And I think that's when I'm gonna drop the intro song I made. I think I'm gonna do that then.
Cool.
So stay tuned. Anyhow, that's gonna be real fun. Oh shit. Okay, let's have another one real quick. Would you rather be a fighter or Dana White?
Fighter, what the fuck?
Like if you had the position to earn money, like this, like you had to pick one.
Me personally?
Yeah. Like would you opt to fight in the UFC or would you opt to have Dana White's job?
He must have a fun job though. Yes, I mean, it must
if
be
you
stressful
won,
as fuck dealing with all those
he
fighters.
almost fought Tito Ortiz. If he really wanted to, not now, but like
back in the day,
he could have stepped in and
apparently it was
tried
like
to
gonna
compete.
happen, but something I don't know why it didn't.
He even had like Dana's my bitch shirt. Tito Ortiz did.
Yeah, they didn't like each other at all.
No.
No, I would probably. I mean, that's a good question.
Your owner fucking just hops in for a fight, beats one of your fighters' ass, and then just goes back to doing his job. That's the most alpha move you can possibly think of.
Dana White works nonstop.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, always working. Yeah, he has fucking planes and jets and fucking can fly around the world whenever he wants.
He probably just loves the fuck out of it.
I mean, that's why he does it, you know. And I love MMA too. Like, it's awesome. Like, it's a small obsession, really.
And you can live longer, too, assuming you live a healthy life.
But see, yeah, exactly. I don't know, bro. Fuck. I don't know if I had that much money. What? And I could just go on my fucking plane.
How much are those croissants from France? I'll take 20.
Dude, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I think I'd rather go with the fighting route. Just because you only have one life to live, why not play it a little bit more dangerous? Because I know Dana White has never gotten the thrill that any of those fighters have.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I feel you on that, and I completely agree. I'd
rather live, and they get paid good. I could still do it the fuck I want if I really wanted to. They get paid pretty well.
Absolutely, and I'm right there with you, my dude. Especially since I definitely do want to compete again, for sure. I just have no idea when I'd be able to start training again, stuff like that. And I ended on a bad note. I got choked the fuck out my last fight, and it was the last fight before I got my pro card, and I was gonna work on getting my pro debut after that, but. Life kicked me in the dick, and I just haven't trained much since, unfortunately. But that's definitely why I would go the fighting route.
Yeah.
Just to, compete again and see what I really got in a Shark Tank.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Sage Northcutt fight too.
He's yeah. This is gonna have a cool
young.
card.
I think he's the youngest.
Derek Lewis too is gonna be fighting as the co-main event, and if. His Instagram is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
he has
funny.
He has one of the most entertaining Instagrams that I follow. It's cool.
It's not all MMA shit. It's a bunch of different shit.
Yeah. It's some funny shit, and then it's some real shit, and
yeah, it's just like, oh my god.
It's like Nature is Scary, but about us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sons of bitch.
Well,
what you got, man? You got anything else? Think about it.
Let me think. I mean, there's not anything else going on right now besides. I mean, I'm excited for DC Miocic.
Yeah,
but, there's nothing really new on that.
Nothing new, really. And if you don't know anything about it, that was on the last episode of our this segment, B.B.B.B Beatdown Breakdown.
Yeah,
you can check that out. I think that's
just everyone's really excited for that purely just because athlete aspect of it.
It's a true super fight. It's a true super. Not
it's not
like
hyped up. It's not like shit talking. They're all
like their credentials speak
really
for themselves.
Good fighters. Yeah,
so
going at it. So
that's gonna be fun to talk about a little bit closer to when we get some more news. And really, we're gonna get our news from watching Tough because they're gonna be the hosts of the next season.
Yeah, I watch Tough all the time. I fucking love it.
Yeah, let's do it, dude. Let's make that our Bachelor.
Right.
Our Bachelor Thursdays. All right. Well, I think that's all I got. So we got some more episodes coming up. I have some episodes of Background Noise coming up, which is not MMA. We might talk a little bit of MMA, but mostly we just shoot the shit about the shit. So y'all have a good rest of your week. Tune in, like, subscribe. I appreciate that shit. Y'all have a good one. Kane and Daniel.